So joining us, the CEO of ING, Steven van Rijswijk. Steven, nice to see you this morning. Thanks so much for coming and joining us. Just let the audience into a little secret. As you joined us on set, Steve asked you what is the biggest issue that we need to worry about this year. What is the biggest issue?
Well, I think it's still the energy price. So what we currently do see, and that's at least positive, is that gas prices have come down. Currently we see that the gas storage is 20% higher than we've seen over the last 5 years. That's helpful in terms of the inflation. That means that also other electricity producers can produce at a lower rate. And that will curb the inflation, albeit that the core inflation, which is the inflation for the other products, is still relatively high. But if we're able to sustain that lower energy price, that lower gas price, that also means it will help investments. And that in turn will then help the economy as well. So I would say that the flipping will be done by the energy prices the coming year.
Obviously household budgets are under pressure, which has implications for you as you lend to the consumer, auto finance, credit cards and so on and so forth. How concerned are you about rising delinquencies for this year?
Look, I mean, a little bit less than half of our portfolio is mortgages, largely in the Netherlands, Belgium and Germany. Delinquencies have been very low over the past decade, and also in the previous financial crisis in 2008 and 2009, delinquencies stayed very low. We haven't seen anything as yet. Typically in those markets there's a good social infrastructure whereby people get paid also relatively well when they are unemployed. People find a new job quite easily, but currently we see at the current employment levels, they're very good. Employment levels in those countries are between 3 and 4%. So there's a tight labour market. But we do see that the number of dwellings that have been sold over the past year have gone down with approximately 10 to 15%, depending on the country. And probably for 2023, we will remain in a subdued environment as that is concerned. When we look at the business customers and mainly the wholesale banking customers, there it is actually quite resilient and investment is being kept up, especially in the sustainability front. We were a bit concerned when Corona started that, and the energy prices also went up the last year, that we would only still talk about energy security. But when we look at sustainability investments, those went up also the past year. And it's also a big theme here in Davos.
Stephen, we spend a lot of time here and I talking about a lot of European banks on life support as well. Your bank doesn't have a lot of the problems that, dare I say it, some of your counterparts do as well. But is the European banking sector destined to be, I don't know, a poor kind of second cousin to the US banks, which tend to kind of push ahead when the global economy picks up, but Europe just gets left behind? If so, why?
Look, for sure, Europe is more compartmentalized than the US. So the US is one big market with one system, one governance and one fiscal system as well. That's different in Europe. There's different paces. I also do think that there are still quite a lot of banks in Europe. So the fragmentation in Europe is a lot higher than that is the case in the US. So I think that when we get out of this phase, that could potentially call for further consolidation. As far as we are concerned, we grow quite rapidly also autonomously. But if there is local consolidation, i.e. in-market consolidation, where we can realize cost benefits, but also are able to broaden the offer that we have to our customers, we will for sure look at it.
So cross-border, done and dusted, everyone's just licking their wounds after last time?
I think that a good precondition to be there would be the banking union. 2 of the 3 pillars are in place. There's an SSM in place, there's a resolution authority in place. There's also EDIS in place or is coming into place, but I'm really a big advocate for the banking union. That could potentially spur cross-border consolidation. Before that, I find it more difficult.